Hi folks, as you know I have a couple of projects on the go. One is the Bluetooth device for the shed. I'm waiting on parts to come in, so I have another little project I'm working on. We all heard of the Spiderman web shooter. Well, I'm not kind of working on a web shooter as in for a web kind of chemical to come out of the shooter and stick to something. I just want to make a web shooter that shoots water or any liquid you want. So I've got a few parts in, a few more parts I'm waiting on, but just to give you an idea of the plan. So you have the CO2 canister, which takes a lot of pressure. So what you can do is you can just screw that on there, put whatever chemical you want in there, or could be a water. I'll be using water. And you have a recharge option there. So you want to pressurize it. We need to put water in, not water, air in that to pressure the actual water that's going to be in there. So when you spray it, it's pressurized and it comes out really quick. So then you have the top here, and then when you push down on here, that bit there, that's when the water comes out. So you need to be able to quick change these. So you need to have 2 or 3 of these and to be able to quick change them. So you need a device that will screw on like that, and then it'll actually hold down that nib at the top to allow the water to come out. And then, although this is the wrong part, you have, this is a valve, this is an SNS valve, and when you push down on that, the water will come out of here. Like, you unscrew that part that comes out there, put that back in there. Okay, so obviously you'd have to take this part off, because all I want is that part in the middle, that part there. So when you push down on that, okay, and then the idea will be is that when I get the right parts, that will fit into there like that. And then as a web shooter, it's going to be kind of like that on your wrist. Oops, try and get it balanced. It will be held down by, I have a kind of a wristband that I can put on, I can strap it on, and I can design it. As I said, it's early days at the moment, but that's the whole idea of the kind of the web shooter. So you can actually take off the canister and put another canister on quickly, and then you should be able to press it down here, which will press that down, which will be able to aim the liquid from the actual web shooter. So that's the kind of general idea and the kind of project that I'm working on. Again, I'm waiting on parts to come in. I want to see what works and what doesn't work. Now I do notice that this part does screw into here, which is pretty good, that it does fit in like that. But the problem is that the nib on the top needs to be released, and it's not being released. So you need a part in the middle to do the releasing, and that screws into there. And it's all kind of airtight, watertight. And then when you press down on that, I'll have a device, bit of plastic hooked into this. So when I push down on that, that presses that down, and then the jet water comes out. So that's another project I'm working on. As I say, more parts to come in to build this. We'll see how we get on. But it's a little fun project, just in case, just for a bit of fun, maybe for the kids, or, you know, maybe security as well. Maybe somebody, you know, could use it to for self-defense in some kind of way. You never know. But it's just an idea. So I'll keep you posted on this one. So this is part 1 of the Spider-Man web shooter.